Hey guys, this is MB from UnderdogChance.com, and in today's video I will share all my NFL betting model predictions and projections with of course qualified NFL picks and bets for week 3. But I will also talk about sports betting concept, how you can become better sports bettor, and what you need to look for when you make projections, when you use your sports betting model, what kind of sports bettor you want to become if you want to win in the long run, and much more. Okay. So I will share all my projections for this week. This is the same NFL betting model that I have created last season. Last season, this betting model went 22-16 with profitable results, ROI more than 10%. The spreads were doing much better, 10-5. And totals were almost break even. So this is one thing we can also reconsider if we check last season's success. If we exclude last 2 weeks where there are some teams were already in the playoffs, the profits would be even better. So this is one thing you can always take into account. And when it comes to sports betting, it is very important that you understand your sports betting model, your sports betting system, and in general your way of sports betting, what you want from sports betting when you bet, and so on. And I will talk about these ideas, and I hope this video will be valuable for you. Okay. So the first thing, 10-5 this season with profitable results. We can also check the spreads and the totals. Spreads are 5-2, also better closing line, also better yield. Those are against Pinnacle, against Novik. Pinnacle totals are 5-3, and we will see, okay, in which direction this will go. So if you're new to sports betting, if you don't know what is the concept of closing line value numbers, first I will explain this on a very simple way. Uh, so if plus EV is the way how you pick games, closing line value will tell you if your way of picking these bets makes sense. Okay, so to understand this, we first need to understand how the betting market works. Okay, because I recently heard this very interesting quote or sentence or the concept that you can only cook what you have in the fridge. Okay, so the less ingredients you have in the fridge, the less you can cook, and the less ingredients or the knowledge or the understanding of sports betting concept you have, you will miss more opportunities and you will make less money, or even if you will make money, right? So understanding of this concept is very important. Okay, understanding of your betting model, what are the strengths and weaknesses, this is also very important. Okay, but let's start with this bookmakers lines. Okay, so how the bookmakers lines are formed, right? So first, bookmakers open the line. Okay, and this is just, let's say, their test or assumption. Okay, and then new information start coming in. Okay, injuries, players, weathers, and also bets. And the more information bookmakers have, the more precise their line will be. Okay, and later, just before the game starts, they have all the available information about this event. Okay, and they increase the limits, and with all the information gathered, they are most confident in their line. Usually they also lower their margins or the fee or VIC, and at the start when they open the line, they usually also, I'm talking about general markets, they usually offer lower limits, and then once they have more information, more data, they are more and more confident in their line. And once they are most confident in their line, this is just before the game start. And this is the line which is called closing line. And you don't want to bet on this line because this is their most confident, most precise line, and you can not even beat it in theory if, and we have the data from Pinnacle and Sharp Bookmakers. They are very, very good at making this line. Okay, so your best shot is to making bets earlier. Okay, so last season and also this season, I made projections on Tuesday for Sunday's game and for the whole week. Okay, and then I close this. Okay, and then I simply check in which direction the lines go. For example, if, let's say, if I play on Patriots +7 on Tuesday, and then if the line goes to Patriots +10, I made a bad bet. But if the line goes down to Patriots +4 in this case, then I know I made a good bet. Okay, so this is how you beat the closing line, and this is a good way to see if your betting even makes sense in the long run. Okay. When it comes to sports betting, as I said, you need to understand it. Okay, for example, I'm not good car driver. I am not big fan of cars, so I just buy a car and I drive it from point A to point B. Okay, but I don't understand the car, and I will never have the same experience that someone who is a big fan of car driving and who buys a car and try to understand it. Okay, because even if I give you the picks, even if I give you the betting model, and if you don't try to understand it, if you don't know the strengths and weaknesses of this betting model, you will be in trouble sooner or later. Okay, but the difference between car driving and sports betting is that if the goal of car is to drive me from point A to point B, this is absolute competition because everyone will win or reach the goal if they come to point B, right? In sports betting, this is not the case because people who win, they need to be in top 5%. This is the data. Only top 5% of people in the world make some money from sports betting. Okay, and this is a relative competition, which would mean in car driving, if someone drives faster, you also need to drive faster. And how to reach this? You want to be intelligent sports bettor. Okay, you don't want to be knowledgeable sports bettor, but intelligent. So what is the difference? The difference is that knowledgeable sports bettor or knowledgeable sports fan, he knows betting, he knows how to place bets, he knows sport. But intelligent sports bettor, he understands things. Okay, and this is a big difference. And when you create a sports betting model, and or when you create a betting system or your way of betting, it is very important that you understand it in the core. Okay, so no matter what kind of system you use, you need to understand your weaknesses and strengths, because believe me, I'm in sports betting business for 25 years. More than 10 years, 15 years ago, I escaped 9 to 5 through sports betting. For last 7, 8 years, I also teach others. And I have created hundreds of sports betting models, from which most of them fail. But those who succeeded, they changed my life. And I can say a couple of words about this, and I hope this can be valuable, okay, for you. So when you create a sports betting model, you can have a complex betting model, you can have a simple betting model, but it is important that you know the differences and you know the weaknesses and strengths. Okay, for example, if you have a complex betting model with players lineups, with all kind of advanced statistics, with including weather, referees, I don't know, all kind of things, the strength of this betting model is that it takes a lot of data. The weakness of this betting model that every single data can make a mistake, there will be more errors, and you will also make bad bets. On the other side, you can have a little bit more simple betting model, which also needs to use advanced statistics, but this can be the strength because it is not more complex, but it will take a little bit more data on a simple way. But on the other side, the weakness will be because it will not take some other factors which might influence the game, like weather, for example, or maybe some key injury. And if you understand the betting model, you can always adjust it, modify it based on this. Okay, so not just blindly following everything. Okay, we had great discussion in our masterclass Discord group for this week, and there is one game which is probably better to stay away. So you can always set the rules. Okay, so as I said, I have created different sports betting models, from a little bit more complex to a little bit simpler. But with this is a simple betting model because it is team-based betting model, which had so far good results. And of course, this is not a guarantee that it will continue. But when you have a simple betting model, then you can also add layers. Okay, for example, you say, okay, I will exclude the totals at some point. Okay, I will exclude, I don't know, I will not bet last 2 weeks because some teams will not perform well, some teams will not be motivated, and this betting model doesn't take into account exact players lineups. So I will exclude last 2 weeks, and that's it. Okay, and this is what I call intelligent sports betting, because you understand what you are doing. Okay. Uh, Another thing is, when you bet, no matter what kind of system you have, you should set your goals, realistic goals, because sports bettors who start betting, and I would even say that the biggest disaster is when a rookie bettor without an edge wins first season. This such person, he can lose a lot of money in the future, because he will have wrong sense, he will be delusional about what is possible in sports betting. Okay, so for example, we have one sports bettor who doesn't use any numbers, who doesn't use any betting models, who doesn't use any analysis, and he was lucky in the first season, and he will make a lot of units. Maybe even he compete on some betting portals, sharing pics on social media, and he will think that he's the best. And then in next years, 5, 10 years, he will of course start losing, and this will be a disaster. On the other side, someone who will hit rock bottom, maybe lose the bankroll in first year, he only have then two options. He maybe stay away from sports betting, or maybe he decide that he will take it seriously, but he will also be more cautious. He will also set the strategy, the goals, and so on. Okay, and when it comes to sports betting, it is also okay that you set your goals, because every season has limited games. Okay, no matter if this is NFL, baseball, and NHL, every single season has limited games. And then you wait 1 year and new season starts. And I even recommend that you have more things or more ingredients in the fridge, so you can attack more markets during the year, and you can collect these units, and you can collect from 30 units, 50 units, 100 units per year. And the more ingredients you have, the more profit you can make in the long run. But how to get to these ingredients? You need to understand betting, and you need to understand the concept of making profitable sports bets with sports betting models, or the way you bet, or your system, or whatever you use. Okay, I will create whole another video about different ways how you pick games. Some are using market lines, odds comparison site, arbitrage betting, stream betting, and so on. Another is trying to form your own line with information in your head, or with public information, or whatever. And this is what I call non-probabilistic. And the third one is probabilistic, where you try to predict actually your line. So those are three different concepts. If I make this simple categorization, I will create a whole new video. But you need to understand what you are doing, okay? And it is okay that you set your own goals. So, but then again, what is a realistic goal? If we check, for example, this season, so results so far, ROI 25%, 31% on spreads. Okay, this is unrealistic. Okay, so this will go down. Okay, this will go down with losses. So in the long run, if you can reach 7 up to 10% ROI on any sport, you will be among 0.1% best bettors in the world. Okay, if you can reach 10% in the long run, okay, this will regress to the mean for sure. Okay, I will not finish with 31% ROI. This is not realistically possible. But if you can reach anything about around 7 to 10%, you will be among the best bettors in the world, and this will change your life. Okay, and you can easily calculate what is your realistic goal based on the number of games. Okay, so how to do this? Okay, so for example, in NFL we have 256 games. Okay, and let's say one market is spread betting. Okay, so you have 256 spread betting opportunities. Okay, and of course, if your way of betting, or your system will find a lot of bets, which in other words mean your way of betting finds a lot of mistakes from the market, something is wrong. Okay, so every time when I see a lot of qualified bets, I should be a little bit more careful about this. I can be a little bit more selective about this. But usually I found that, I don't know, some small percentage of games will be betting opportunities, okay? And from these betting opportunities, if you add 1 unit to each, you can then calculate what would be 10%, and then you can get realistic goal. So in NFL, if you can reach 10 up to 15 units in one season, this is amazing goal, okay? So if I will hit up to from 7 to 10 units, this will be enough for me. I will probably keep sharing these projections, but the goal will be from 7 to 10 units, okay? If I reach that goal, I will probably finish it and then just enjoy, okay? And then I can move to other markets, okay? So imagine you can make, if you have the ingredients, the knowledge to make more markets. So if you make with one market 10 units, 7 units, 5 units, and you can, even if you make some loss at some point, sometimes you will have a negative season, sometimes you will have a negative year, but in the long run, if you can collect these units, you can make 30, 50, 100 units. And what does this even mean? It means, I don't know, 10 times better than stock market. And if you can start reinvesting these profits, and if you can do this for 5, 10, 15 years, this can change your life, okay? What most sports bettors do, they simply start betting, and once they win something, they start betting more, okay? They start betting more. So for example, let's say that someone finds this channel in the week one, and then the first week we went 7-2, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7-2, right? First week. And of course, he decided, I will go all in next week because this will continue. No, this will not continue, okay? You need to understand, this was week one. Maybe I will have negative week 3, negative week 4, maybe positive week 5, 6, I don't know. I don't know what can happen, okay? But sports bettors become very overconfident when they see wins, and then they start betting more and more and more. On the other side, when they lose, and if they are still confident in their system or strategy, they start chasing losses, and all these things lead to losses. Why this lead to loss? Because you never know what will happen, okay? Nobody can guarantee success in sports betting. There's no 100% guarantee. If you will bet on yourself, if you will improve all the time, if you will try to beat the market, if you will always look for positive expected value, if you will be disciplined, if you will improve your knowledge, if you will upgrade your betting models, betting systems, there is a big chance you will there is a big chance you will make profit. But it is nothing 100% sure, right? And this is why I recommend that you set your own goals, okay? So once you reach the goal, okay, then take the money, take the profits. Even when I see people who join my masterclass or join my betting models, and if they bet $100 per game, and if they get my betting model for $300, for example, make 3 units, take these profits, and then you know you're at the zero, and then you have it for a lifetime, okay? So when I was building sports betting bankrolls when I was younger, of course I lost 2 bankrolls, big bankrolls I lost, but then later I used different approach. So I made profit, I secured the profit, and then I started building more and more and more. And I started looking as a long-term investment, not some short runs, okay? And NFL is very, very short term, right? Because we have very, very limited games. You can be the best sports bettor. You can have positive closing line value numbers. You can be very selective with the bets, and you will make, I don't know, 50 bets. And 50 bets is too small sample size to be guaranteed that you're profitable better. And even if you make 50 bets every single season in next 10 years, this will be 500 bets. And once you reach 500 bets, if you track, I don't know, p-value, closing line value numbers, you can get more data and you can see if your betting makes sense, right? But usually it is very small sample size. So the good indicator on a very small sample size is definitely closing line value number. So which means once you bet, then you check the line in which direction goes. But you don't need to check it on Thursday, on Saturday, just check the closing line, because this is the line that matters. Okay, this is the line which gathers all the information. Okay, so set the goals, and also set the goals, exit goals. Okay, so for example, if I set 10 let's say 10 units to profit, I will also have, I don't know, 15 units of minus, or minus 10 units. And if I reach any of these goals, then I stop betting. So if I make 10 units profit, I will take profit. If I hit minus 10 units, I will also stop betting and I will take a loss. Okay, and then I can reorganize. Okay, so this is a little bit different approach. Some bettors will say, if you have the edge, just start betting, just bet, 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 bet. But I see this a little bit different, because in sports betting, the goal should not be units. Okay, the goal should not be betting. The goal should be wealth. And how to build wealth? You build wealth once you start reinvesting profits, because sports betting has its own limits. Once you will start betting more and more and winning more, you will see that sports betting has its own limits. Okay, of course, if you attack bigger markets where bookmakers have more information, more bettors bet, they have better algorithms, they will also allow you to bet much more. If you bet smaller markets, I don't know, Swedish basketball league, you will bet, I don't know, 300 American dollars only. Okay, and that's it. But if you bet bigger markets, you can bet more. But all these have limits. Okay, you cannot make billions or millions every single year from sports betting unless you're a gambler. Okay, I'm talking about strategic betting. Okay, there are two types of betting. One type of betting is that mattress mac. They go and, I don't know, they bet $10 million on one game, and then they watch game. This is a whole media show. And if they hit, they say, I made millions. Okay, this is basically gambling. Then we have strategic betting, which is always long term. And I'm talking about 5, 10, 15 years, or even I like to say lifetime, right? You should look at lifetime, right? You take smaller portions and you start attacking strategically bookmakers, different markets. Start taking smaller profits. Okay, and when people write me, they usually say, I want to, I don't know, do sports betting professionally. I just want to bet and I don't want to do anything else. This is something I don't recommend. Okay, what I recommend: keep your job, do whatever you do, because you have a stable job, you have stable whatever you do, stable income, and this can be your side income at the start, and then you can start building bankroll. You don't worry about the losses because you still have the side income. You start making better bets, better decisions. You can look at the long term, right? So you don't chase losses, you don't panic every single time, because uh, I was living from sports betting only. Okay, it was 15 years ago, right? Right now I have different income streams. Okay, I always reinvest sports betting profits and so on. But I had a couple of years where sports betting was my only income stream. I was very lucky to make enough money, so I escaped that thing. So first I escaped 9 to 5 grind, and then I started reinvesting betting profits, and this was the best decision. But I want to show you what kind of stress level is this. Okay, because you do all kind of analysis. I was doing analysis for 10, 20, not 20, 10, 12, 15 hours. I was watching games and I made everything correctly, but they still lost. And I had to pay the bills with sports betting money. Of course, it is possible. I'm not saying it is not possible, but the goal of sports betting should not be the units, as I always say. It should be better life. And this was not making my life better. Okay. So once you look at sports betting as a long-term investment, and once you make smaller bets and invest in your knowledge to become long-term successful better, then you will take, for example, the underdog because you find plus EV, right? Once you need to, but if you need to pay the bills with your sports betting money, you will make a lot of mistakes because it is psychologically very, very hard. Okay. So those are the things. I hope it will help some bettors maybe it was a little bit unorganized, but if I sum this up quickly, so you need to understand your sports betting model. You need to understand weaknesses and strengths. So if you will blindly type the teams, if you don't understand sports betting, you will be in trouble sooner or later. Okay, sports betting is not like car driving where the goal is to go from point A to point B and you win. In sports betting, you need to be in top 5%, and this is if someone else is driving faster, you need to be faster as well. Okay, then set the goals, okay, because the goals will prevent you from doing mistakes, and even before you start, you know what you will do, in every single situation. You will know, okay, if I lose that and that money, I will stop. If I make money, I will do this. You need to know every single action, what you will do at every single point, okay? Check the lines in which direction they go. Check your line that you take against the closing line, okay? And you can always adjust, modify betting model, okay? So if you use this betting model, one thing we can do, for example, we can modify it or adjust it. We can be a little bit more selective with spreads, okay? So I can start looking for 10-point spreads. So I will just look for, I will be a little bit more selective. This is just one way, okay? This is just idea, okay? Then we can also stay away from the games where there is a lot of injuries. I will show you one example today, okay? And let's move to today's projections for this week. So the first game, New England Patriots and New York Jets. So this is the first game, and based on my projections, this is under 38. My this simple NFL betting model, which is team-based NFL betting model, showed that this could go under 38. Okay, then we have Philadelphia Eagles against New Orleans Saints. My betting model has the Saints at minus 2.5 as a value bet. I'm looking for 7-point difference because, as I said, this is simple betting model, team-based betting model, and I'm looking for a little bit bigger discrepancies, okay? And Saints, based on my projection, should be bigger favorite, okay? Giants, Cleveland, based on my numbers, it is under. But as you see, it is a little bit more qualified bets than that I like to have. For example, if we check last season numbers, in week 1, I had 1 qualified bet. In week 2, only 2 qualified bets. In week 3, there were a little bit more qualified bets, okay? Then we have week 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, okay? So usually this is not a good sign. So we will monitor this in which direction this will go, okay? So under in Cleveland. Then we have Chicago against Indianapolis. Based on my projections, Indianapolis should be minus 2.5, or I have just rough numbers here, minus 1.5, which is very close. Totals 41.68, bookmakers 42.5. Green Bay, Tennessee. This is a game. Green Bay Packers, they're playing without their quarterback, and this is a suggestion from our members from Discord group that it would be probably better to stay away from Green Bay Packers games in this betting model, okay? Some others included adjustment for him. I think 2.5 points should be. And of course, the total should be also adjusted. So you need to adjust for the totals as well manually. So I will stay away from Green Bay Packers games. Probably, I will see, probably for whole season. Right now, we have third week. So most of the data are still from last season. And then each week we add more and more data, right? And later when we will have half and half, maybe I will decide to take it. But this is something you can monitor, okay? But betting model shows over on Green Bay in this game, over 36.5. Chargers Steelers, no value in this game. My numbers and bookmakers numbers are exactly the same. Houston Texans, Minnesota Vikings. So small value with Minnesota, they're plus 2.5 underdog. I have them as a small favorite. The total maybe small lean to under, but this is not 7 point difference. Then we have Denver, Tampa Bay. I have Tampa Bay at minus 9.66, so small value with Tampa, and small lean to over maybe, but those are too close. 3 points. This is really close. Carolina, Las Vegas. Based on my projections, Las Vegas minus 5.5 and under 40.5. This is what my numbers say, okay? Miami Dolphins, Seattle, this is over 41. Another over is in San Francisco, LA Rams. Then we have Baltimore, Dallas, the same numbers, exactly same numbers, so close to even. Detroit, Arizona, I have Detroit at minus 4.5, bookmakers minus 2.5, so it is close to my numbers. Kansas, Atlanta, I have under in this one, under 47, under in Kansas and Atlanta. Jacksonville, Buffalo, this is almost qualified bet on Buffalo. So if this would be minus 5, if you can get minus 5 on Buffalo, this would be qualified bet. And as I said, the spreads are doing much better. From last season, as I said, 28% ROI. This season, 10.5. And the totals this season, 5.3. This season, yes, 5.3. Last season, close to break even, okay? So maybe a little bit more careful with the totals. And the last game, Washington, Cincinnati, minus 9, minus 8, okay? Not qualified, very close numbers, okay? So we can check all qualified bets. So the first is Jets under, Saints minus 2.5, Cleveland under, not under is not enough information, okay? Because it is a big difference if you have under 38.5 or under 37.5. It is under 38, okay, and under 39. So it is not 37.5 or 38.5 or something like that, okay? Okay, this was a little bit longer video. I hope some information are helpful. Even if my information will help only one person, and even if you get only one idea from this, I hope it was valuable. If not, maybe next time. And whatever decide to take, I wish you good luck. Never blindly follow anyone. Never blindly follow any system. Never blindly follow something you don't understand, because you would also not drive Ferrari if you don't understand how it works, especially not fast cars. And NFL is one of the sharpest markets, so I think it is much smarter to set smaller goals than reach it. And even if something goes wrong, set exit goal, stop betting at that time and reorganize. And if you can do this constantly, you will win in the long run, okay? So that's it from me today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.